I am here in Long Beach. We got a call from a client. They have a rooftop deck that is leaking. We got to get up there. We got to find out where the leak is, and we got to repair it. All right, let's go. Oh, crap. That's not what I expected. I think it's your metal roof that's leaking. I don't even know what this is going to cost. This is super frustrating. This deck is leaking. It's a major problem for the homeowners. They've had multiple contractors out here to try to solve this, and they just can't find where the leak is. And I'm pretty sure, I think I know where some of the main parts are. I think it's leaking right here, right by the door. I think there's gonna be a leak somewhere on this wall and maybe right here. And the reason I think that is because the house is opened up below. You can actually see the stain marks of where the water's coming in. It surprises me that no one's really done any kind of serious water testing. I think they've sprayed the house, but we're gonna find it. What we're gonna do is we have sandbags right here, and I'm gonna line the sandbags up. I'm gonna fill this deck with water, and I'm gonna just keep going one by one until we actually find the area that's leaking and address it and fix it. We're already planning on the door being replaced because it's a retrofit door, and I know for sure that thing's gonna leak. But beyond that, we gotta make sure this deck is gonna be 100% watertight when we leave. So to do that, we're gonna do a water test with these sandbags, and we're gonna flood this area. I'm pretty sure right here, this area is gonna be one main area where the water is coming in. The door is too low. It looks like they cut the door pan. There's some bad flashing here, but this is gonna be our first test. You can see because the deck is slanted, more water is filling up there first. Oh, you can see a leaf coming out of there. All they did is they just put a piece of metal flat, and then it's gapped right here, and then they put a whole bunch of caulking. I can push my finger in. I'm very sure that water's leaking right there. Tony's gonna open up the drywall right here. This is right below the door. This way we can see up through the insulation of the subfloor. Right now I don't see anything. We haven't found any water yet. What could it be? What could it be? Stuff like this is fun to me. You know, like getting to the bottom of something that someone else hasn't done. It just takes work, that's the problem. People are lazy. They just don't want to put the work in to figure out what the problem is. And then they cut corners, they get their money and they leave, and then they don't want to come back. I feel bad, like we're the third contractor that they're paying to come and fix this. Well, your deck is, I mean, your roof is definitely leaking. I'm baffled. I don't know where. I mean, it should be very like self-explanatory. There should be flashing improperly installed, stucco that's missing paper or it's been torn, a big crack in the stucco, an area in the roof that is torn, or the flashing or the tie-in's not correct. I don't know. It'd be so much easier if it was raining and then I could see where it's coming in. Right now we're in the kitchen area. We're right below where the deck is. This is that parapet wall that splits the deck from the roof. And this is one area that it was leaking, and you can actually see the rust stains and the water marks on the beam. And then over here, this is below the door. And this is what we're actually testing right now. So we have this area opened up. We still need to open up the backside to make sure it's not going on the backside of the beam. Oh. Okay, I see. Yep, I already know what's happening.
Oh, you see?
Yep.
Tada.
Yeah, I already know what's happening. That's why this whole area is leaking. At some point, they had a roofer out, and there was clearly water dripping down below. They fixed the deck didn't fix it, the roofer came out, he put Lucas membrane over the top. And you would think, okay, well, this is great, like my roof is fixed now. The problem is what happens is, if you've seen some of the other videos, behind the walls where the stucco is, there's paper. And I told you the paper is the waterproofing. So anything that's tied into that paper as the waterproofing, if it were to leak, it's supposed to have a place for it to go. Well, the problem is they put this new roof over the old roof. So what's been happening is the water is getting underneath the Lucas membrane, and it's rotting out the wood. So even though there was wood rot before, they thought that they fixed it, but the water is still rotting out the wood, and that's why we can see it on the backside of the wall. Right here, and then look, that's just, it's gone. I bet you there's a hole there. I don't even know if there's any plywood left. So even though you have a new roof on top, that looks good. If water is soaking through your window, if it's soaking through holes where we'd normally go to the waterproof paper and then drip down, it has no place to go. So it's actually dripping all the way through into the ceiling. So unfortunately for this client, the whole cricket needs to come out. Not only that, all of the stucco on this side needs to be redone. Okay, so a cricket, that's a good question of like what a cricket is. It is really just a term we use where there are two roofs coming together. Imagine if you have a wall, right? And you just brought this roof all the way down like that. You create like a valley. Well, this valley is gonna be straight because the wall's straight, the ceilings are straight, everything is just straight. Well, you can't have standing water here. So you have to build up like a V, like almost another roof. And we call those crickets because you're filling in the area. So in this case, it's going from that edge of the back wall and it's going into the scupper. So everything is being filled up high and it's going low. So all the water is getting funneled down here and then it's just finding a valley and going that way. It's unfortunate because I think this was only done like 2 years ago, but this just isn't the fix. I don't have a number. I don't even know what this is gonna cost. Nothing's really coming from the deck other than the door. So that's a good sign. We're not gonna have to rip up any more of the deck. So we can close that up. All the water is coming from this side. Now that we have the door out, you can see this metal piece right here. They cut it and the door was resting on hardy backer. So it was like resting like right here. Well, this metal is supposed to go up and then under, and then you're supposed to have your door pan. That way, if the door pan gets water in it, it would drip into your deck. But this was so low that the water, it just rolls right over and it goes right into the house. When we took the door out, this whole bottom plate was all wet. It looks like the deck guy had a bigger flashing and the door guy came in and cut it to put his door in. The problem though is now to replace this flashing, I have to break into the waterproofing of the deck. Because this flashing is probably about 4.5 to 5 inches thick this way, and it probably sat up to this high. And they should have just bent it and rolled it back, but they didn't. This will be the new height of the door. And as you can see, now what's gonna happen is this metal flashing, the new one, will come up to this height. And that way we have 1.5 inches where water could build up in theory before it even gets to the new door height. And that's the problem is right here, the deck is slanted this way, so they built up the deck and it makes this area so thin for the door. So it's gonna be high over there, you know, when you look at it, but really the door is level, it's just the deck is sloping. So now that we know what our fix is, Tony's gonna get started on prepping the door opening so we can get the deck guy out here, do the flashing, and then we can get our door in, and then we can tackle the roof next door. Guys, so this project has been a series of bad news, but I have good news today. We have localized the leak, we know where it's at, and we're able to fix it. And we're able to save this metal roof, which is gonna save them at least $10,000 because we don't have to replace it. We just have to pull it up and then we can reuse it. So this is what happened. The leak was coming in here, this wood right here that's brand new. This we replaced, it was all rotted out. We're gonna redo the roof in this section. We've opened up the entire section. We know it wasn't leaking all the way down there. We know it wasn't leaking from the windows now. We've tested everything. We've checked all the flashing and paper and waterproofing around them. That is okay. It was just right here, so that is good. We're gonna get the roof done. We're gonna reflash this area, put this back down, re-stucco it, and we're gonna move on from this section of the project, and then we're gonna start buttoning up the rest of the house. We will test it just when we're done, just to make sure, but that's good news for the homeowner, and that's a lot of savings for them.
All right, we got, hold on, slippery. Man, metal roofs.
All right, well, that was fun. Well, we got the roof, we got it removed. Now it's back on. As you can see, it looks like almost nothing's really happened or changed. But this section right here, the cricket, this is where all the problems were. And we got the new roof material down. As you can see right here, this is a torch down. So it just comes in rolls. So this is all done. We got our base in. We're able to put the metal back. This is all watertight. Now we're working on the stucco that's gonna go on the walls and around the windows. And we got the flashing going in right now. This is the Z-bar. This is what was missing from the roof originally. It didn't have this 1x6 right here. So we got this in, we got our Z-bar. Tony's working on the stucco where the scupper is. All right, so you found me. Well, this has been the way we get to this job every morning. And you might be asking yourself why. They do have a front door, but this is the thing. We've been really dirty ripping out the roof and the stucco and all this stuff. So that gives us a way to not have to go through the house all the time. I want to show you, the last time we were here, all the stucco was broken out, the roof was getting done. We're back, the roof has been finished. Tony's over here cleaning it, and we got the brown coat done. I want to show you one thing. So right here, you saw the door already go in. And what we did is we ended up cutting the existing deck right here. So one of the reasons we ended up cutting this existing deck out and making this patch is because when we took this door out, I assumed that there was a problem with the flashing, and it was correct. Someone had cut the metal door pan and the flashing going from the deck to the door pan. So we replaced all that when we did the door. And so this is the start of our waterproofing. I think you can hear some water in the background, and that is because the next step to this process before we finish it up, we're gonna do a water test. Let's see what he's doing right here. We got Tony spraying water over here. So we're wetting it down, and we're doing this before we do our final coat, just in case. I mean, like, you know, we're all human, we can make errors. We want to make sure that everything's buttoned up and that we have no more leaks that we haven't accounted for. I don't know if you could tell from the last video, but when we did water testing at the beginning, when we were trying to find all the leaks, there was water pooling right here, and there was rotted wood underneath it. So already right now, you can see a nice steady stream. It's all staying where it's supposed to. It's all running out, so it's a good start. All right, so cross your fingers, hope we got no more leaks, and we can move on from this stage. Whew. Well, we did it. We got all the leaks finished up. No more leaks in this house. And I want to tell you, like, the takeaway on this thing is really find someone who is confident in a vast majority of different things and will help you find the problem and solve it, and not just a deck or door guy or stucco guy or any of that kind of stuff. So if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more of them, please hit the subscribe button, thumbs up, leave us some comments. I'm going to see you on the next video.